Good day to my ballistic blood brothers and sisters in arms. How cool is this? Just like the old days, hasn't even been a week since the last time we spent some time together, and we're back at it again. I think I'm gonna like this more healthy lifestyle than the place I was stuck the last few years. Actually, it didn't have anything to do with anything I was doing on purpose, but I'm gonna embrace this anyway, just as though it's my choice. So it's nice to be here, and it's nice to be here with you. The last time we were here, we spent some time on the Serbu BFG-50 Mk II rifle, and those were the first shots fired. This was a custom build that I ordered, that Mark Serbu put together for me, and it ended up morphing itself into what will be known in the future as the BFG-50 Mk II. So I'm not the only one that's going to have one anymore, but I am the first one, so we're spending some time together learning about it. And I had enough questions from the last time we were out here at the range, and I actually had a few questions of my own that I wanted to answer today. So here we are at part 2, the Serbu BFG-50 Mk II, part 2. Stick around. So I had several questions come up about the rifle, the scope, the suppressor, the ammo following the last video, and I wanted to address a couple of those. And I also, since I'm already at the range anyway, might as well take advantage of a good opportunity. I've dropped back to 50 yards, and I want to try to set a separate reticle up for 50 yards, or 50 meters, I guess, and see how that does, get a little more time with it. Now, one of the complaints that I got was I didn't show enough footage of the impact area. And truth be known, I didn't film much impact area footage because I planned on sharing the scope footage. But like a moron, I had the scope video camera set to 4K at 120 frames per second the entire day, and that made my editing software kind of wonky. So I was able to extract that one video file of the popper target getting thrown out of the ground. But today I've got everything set back to a more reasonable setting, and I think this video will have some downrange footage. Plus I've got a second camera set up on that. To get into a little bit more detail about the BFG-50 Mk II, which I didn't get into on that first one, the trigger mechanism is in fact a mil-spec AR trigger. The hammer is drastically modified. It's a special hammer for this rifle, but it is a mil-spec trigger that's in it. And the safety selector is in the same place that it would be on your AR. So if you're comfortable or competent with an AR platform gun, you're going to find this one naturally very comfortable. I was also asked about the recoil impulse, and it's kind of stout. It's not too much by any stretch of the imagination, but you got to hang on to it, especially with the necessity to have your eye so close to the scope. If you weren't paying attention, you might become a pirate, but it's not really bad. I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable at all. I wouldn't discourage anyone from shooting it if they have any experience with big bore guns at all. Nobody. And it does have a decent recoil pad on it. So as far as it being painful or uncomfortable, absolutely not at all. Another question was the sound signature. How quiet is it? And man, that's a loaded question. We've discussed that a lot in the past. These little cameras have microphones that just don't accurately represent what's happening. They're made to modify sound if it's too quiet to make it louder, and to cut sound back if it's too loud to make it quieter. So it's really a terrible place, YouTube, to watch for silencer performance. It just doesn't show you really what's happening. I guess if you have several things side by side, maybe some you could pick up the differences, but because it equalizes everything so much, even that would be difficult. But in a few words, it's very comfortable. It's way, way below the threshold of damage, and it's not even close to the threshold of pain. It's much quieter than, say, a 9mm pistol. Something that would, you know, with regular ammo, that would make your ears ring, or would make my ears ring. This doesn't have any adverse effect at all. It's actually really comfortable. The ammo that I'm using is Detroit ammo, and it is a 750 grain subsonic round. They've got it rated at 1,070 feet per second. I think last time I was using 1050 a lot, but I'll bring the chrono out one of these other trips and we'll find out exactly what it's at coming out of this 16-inch barrel. But it's rated at 1070 feet per second. My original intention this afternoon was to run over to the rifle range and get dialed in at 100 and further, but I've got a little bit of work left to do on the rifle range. I showed you the damage from the storms that we had in the last video, and it's just a mess. So what I've done today is just brought everything back another 20 meters. So I think it's showing 52 meters right now. I'm going to see where the point of aim differs from the point of impact. I'll make the adjustment and I'll save a second reticle for that. And hopefully today I'll actually be recording the downrange video. Let's put a few rounds down. I have a brand new target set up at 52 meters, and today my point of aim to start with is going to be the top bullseye. It's just a really simple vertical target with 2 bullseyes, and if it's going to do anything, I think that it's going to drop just a little bit. So I'm going to aim at the top bullseye, and the projectile should be big enough so we both see exactly where it hits. Well, that's cool. I wasn't sure, since we're dealing with subsonic ammo and it can be so finicky changing distances, if I was going to have a lot of variation between the point of aim and the point of impact. It looks to me like it's in the same place as it was before as far as elevation, and it's only an inch or two to the right. So I'll fire another shot, make sure that wasn't just me, and we'll go from there. That one looks like the windage is perfect. It's just the elevation that's a little bit high. Let's try another. That one I can't see, so I'm assuming it's because it's in the black. I might not be able to see well because we're getting towards low light now, and I've got shadows that are downrange compared to where I'm shooting from. But I'm willing to bet that if I put one on that popper target down there, we'll see exactly where it hit. That's it. just a little bit higher at 50 meters than we were at 30 meters. So what a fun project this is. I'm anxious to start stretching it out at rifle ranges. And I think this week I can probably have my rifle range cleaned up so we can start putting some rounds down at normal distances, 100 meters, 200 meters, and everything's there. For those of you that have asked, yes, I actually do have a shooting bench and don't have to rely on a card table. This is just something makeshift for while we get everything cleaned up. I do have a proper shooting bench. I've got 400 yards available on the rifle range and have steel littered all through it from 100 to 400, so we don't have to keep moving around to transition between different distances. So we'll have some great opportunities to gather more data very, very soon. And of course, I won't be doing it without inviting you to join me. So I hope you enjoyed this second peek at the BFG-50 Mark II. I hope I answered some of the questions that you'd asked. If I didn't, please feel free to ask in the comments below the video, and I'll make sure to address them the next time we get together. If you did, please click like, share us with your friends in your vast social media universe, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and take a peek at the cool merch that we have at Bunker Branding. They're really nice people. They've got a great product and lightning fast shipping. I haven't heard any complaints from anybody. And this is the internet, so I'm pretty sure I would have heard a complaint if there was something wrong by now. Anyway, if you like to talk guns, you can also do that on Facebook at facebook.com/guntestvids. And till next time, have fun and be safe.